I want you to imagine something for a second. A world where your steak, chicken, or bacon comes not from a farm but from a lab. No animals, no slaughterhouses, just meat, real meat, growing in a dish. Sounds like science fiction, right? But it's happening, right now. And honestly, it's way more fascinating than most people realize. So today, we're diving into the world of lab-grown meat, sometimes called cultured meat, cell-based meat, or clean meat, and how scientists are literally creating it from scratch without ever raising a single animal. First, let's talk about how it works. At the heart of lab-grown meat are cells, simple animal cells. Scientists take a tiny sample from an animal, it could be a cow, a chicken, or a pig, and then they isolate the cells that will actually grow into meat, like muscle stem cells. These cells are then placed in a special environment called a bioreactor. Think of it like a high-tech incubator. Inside, the cells are fed nutrients, sugars, amino acids, vitamins, everything they need to grow, divide, and eventually form muscle tissue. Over time, these cells multiply, and with the right scaffolding, they start to take the shape and texture of real meat. And here's the wild part. No animal is harmed in this process. That's right. You can produce meat without slaughter, without raising cows for months, without all the environmental footprint that comes with traditional farming. But it's not just about being cruelty-free. Lab-grown meat has the potential to drastically reduce greenhouse gas emissions, save water, and free up land that would otherwise be used for livestock. Some studies suggest that producing a burger in a lab could cut carbon emissions by more than 90% compared to a conventional beef burger. Now, you're probably wondering, does it actually taste like meat? The answer is yes, kind of. Early prototypes were admittedly a little bland or chewy, but companies have been refining the process. They've even started layering fat cells with muscle cells, which gives lab-grown meat the flavor, juiciness, and mouthfeel of the real thing. In taste tests, many people say they can't tell the difference. And it's not just beef. Scientists are working on chicken, duck, pork, and even seafood like shrimp and fish. Imagine ordering sushi at a restaurant made from lab-grown tuna. That's already happening in some experimental kitchens. Of course, there are challenges. Scaling production is tough. Right now, lab-grown meat is expensive. Some initial products cost hundreds or even thousands of dollars per pound to make. But the price is dropping fast. Advances in bioreactor technology, growth mediums, and cell culture techniques are making it more and more feasible for mass production. There are also regulatory hurdles. Different countries are figuring out how to label, inspect, and approve lab-grown meat for sale. Singapore is actually the first country to approve it commercially, and a handful of restaurants there are already serving lab-grown chicken nuggets and other products. Beyond the science, the cultural shift is fascinating. People are starting to ask, what does it mean to eat meat when no animals are involved? How will this impact traditional farming? How will it change the way we think about sustainability, ethics, and food security? Some experts even suggest that in a few decades, lab-grown meat could become the norm, affordable, tasty, and environmentally friendly, while conventional meat becomes a niche product. Others believe a hybrid future, where cultured meat supplements traditional meat rather than replaces it completely. And here's something that really blew my mind. In 2020, scientists even grew a piece of steak that was a few centimeters thick. They did it by layering cells on scaffolds, essentially building meat like you'd build a tiny 3D structure. That's not just ground meat or nuggets anymore. That's something you could put on a plate and grill like a regular steak. So, what does this all mean for you, the everyday consumer? Well, the technology is coming, and sooner than most people think. Within the next decade, lab-grown meat could appear in grocery stores, fast food chains, and restaurants worldwide. And you might be able to enjoy it without guilt, without compromise, and without worrying about environmental impact. It's not just science, it's a glimpse into a future where food is safer, cleaner, and more sustainable. And the crazy part? We're only at the beginning. The possibilities are enormous. Scientists are exploring ways to tweak fat composition for better flavor, create meat with customized nutrients, and even make it more compatible with different diets. So next time you bite into a burger or a chicken sandwich, imagine a future where that same taste comes from a lab, not a farm. A future where the world's growing population can eat real meat without destroying the planet or harming animals. And the best part? It's real, it's happening, and it's only going to get better. If you found this video fascinating, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. I'd love to hear what you think. Would you try lab-grown meat? And if you're curious about the latest tech transforming our food, stay tuned, because this is just the beginning. Next up, you should check out one of the videos on your screen right now. You'll love it more than your own grandmother's baking. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.